Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menasce. Today is another AMA episode. That is, Ask Me Anything. I love to answer your questions, and if you have a question you think is going to be of broad interest, send it in. I'll answer it live on the air. Send your questions to victor@victorjm.com. That's victor@victorjm.com. Today's question comes from Christian, who asks, I'm a small-time real estate investor, and I'm about to do my first long-distance flip. Is it worth hiring a project management company? It's a flat fee, and they would help with the design, comparing costs, negotiating with contractors, and management. The project budget is somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000, and the cost is $7,000 for the project management company. Is it worth it? Well, Christian, this is a great question. At first, I thought you were asking a more generic question about doing a flip in a market that's a distance from where you live. And under normal circumstances, I would not recommend performing a flip in a remote market unless you had a really strong boots-on-the-ground partner and you could point to a stream of investment across multiple properties over a longer period of time. It's not worth putting that infrastructure in place just for one project. However, as I later learned, your specific case is a single project. You're based in Montana, and the property is in New Hampshire. But it's clear that this property is not just an investment. It's a family-owned vacation property that's going to double as a short-term rental when it's not occupied. The problem with any remote property management is the management. When you're not able to manage it directly, the risk is higher of bad things happening to the property and you being left unaware. There are countless horror stories of situations where absentee owners get taken advantage of. That can be true of construction, can also be true when it comes to the rental of the property. Before you hire, the most important part for you is to get clear on exactly what you want done. That means documenting in incredible detail what you want in your project. It could mean writing a document, maybe 100 pages or more of specifications. You could go and clip specifications off of the Home Depot website for specific products that you want included in your project, and you include that in the document. You can provide some alternates, but you provide a first choice, second choice, third choice. That way it's very clear what's acceptable to include in your project and what's not. I can't emphasize enough the importance of that document. It's going to describe exactly what you want in addition to any architectural drawings that you might have commissioned. The drawings might have notes on them, but in my experience, the notes are not enough. That document will describe which fixtures are to be installed for plumbing, for electrical, for mechanical, windows, cabinetry, and so on. And you want to specify all of these things in full detail. That way there's almost nothing being left to chance. The price that's being proposed makes sense to me, but it's really a question of what are you going to get for that price? The more important thing other than price is the process by which the project is going to be managed. How are the materials going to be purchased? Are the materials going to be stored on site? How are they going to be managed? See, in most businesses, the person doing the work must not be the person entrusted with checking the quality of the work and checking for completion. There's an inherent conflict of interest there. You want to institute a process for payment of subtrades. You don't ever want to give a contractor or a subcontractor a large deposit or a large upfront payment. They might argue that they need that deposit to purchase materials. But I did a little research and I noted that there's a Home Depot located about 20 minutes from your property. You could place an order with the Pro Desk and have the contractor pick up the materials. Home Depot will package the order for pickup by your contractor. That way you're not fronting any money to the contractor. You're paying for the materials directly with the Home Depot. That's a safer way to manage your project. Progress payments can be made to your subcontractors, but with each payment, they need to sign a lien waiver. The construction process is all about controlling the outcome. The problem is that many people in the world of construction are not true professionals. Now, you might find people that are good and you might develop a good relationship with them, even do a few projects with them, and then all of a sudden something happens and all of a sudden they're no longer trustworthy. See, contractors come in all shapes and sizes. At one end of the spectrum, you've got the small contractor. I call them two guys in a pickup truck. At the other end of the spectrum, you've got the major national constructors who are capable of massive undertakings like stadiums. And in between, you've got truly professional mid-sized companies that can do a great job building apartment complexes and hotels and shopping centers. But for your project in a rural part of New Hampshire, you're probably going to be limited to that small end of the spectrum. At that end of the market, the variability in quality can be absolutely all over the place. They might be great or truly terrible, and it's hard to know in advance. Unfortunately, references in a small town are too easy to manipulate for you to trust, especially when you're an outsider. I'm definitely in favor of you hiring someone to perform that quality control function when it comes time to doing the work, but even more important than the quality control during construction is negotiating those contracts with the subcontractors up front and getting those detailed specifications for what you want in the finished product, and get all of that understood and agreed up front. Now, you want the person tasked with performing the regular site visits to deliver an agreed set of photographs uploaded into a shared online folder each time they visit the site. That can also include video walkthroughs of the property. Your question related primarily to the construction aspect of the project, but frankly, you're going to have the same problem when it comes to operating the short-term rental business. Short-term rentals are also an active business, and so you need active management there that's high quality. You're going to have to answer the same question about how you're going to manage the property in your absence. Who's going to perform that quality assurance function to ensure that every single guest has an amazing guest experience? Will the knives in the kitchen be sharp? Will the pillows be full and well placed on the bed? Will the towels be clean and properly folded? Will the blender and the corkscrew and the iron be in the expected location, and will they be fully working? All of that requires attention to detail to deliver a high-quality product to the end customer, whether that end customer is a paying guest or a family member coming to vacation at the property. Hope this is helpful. I want to thank you, Christian, for a fabulous question. And for the listeners at home, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.